Hi, everybody. This is Breaking the Cage Astrology TV for April 14th through the 20th. And yes, we made it through the eclipse. We made it through the solar eclipse. Bullshit. Yes. Yay. Before I go any further, right there, I have posted it and I'm going to keep posting it. It's right there in the comments for you all to see. If you are a scammer, if you are a faker, if you are a spammer and you are coming in trying to hit our people with I'll give you a reading, you will find yourself banned. Period. I'm going to go back in. Matt's going to go back in from the Matrix and we're going to block you. Period. There is no doing that to our people. I am giving a reading, a universal reading. I'm telling you about the energies. I'm channeling them. I'm getting what is going on a universal level. But you don't even see me asking people for a reading. So if you're one of those people who are coming in and you do want to be part of the Matrix and continue to see the shows, I suggest you not do it because you will be banned. With that being said, let's get into this week. Again, we made it through the eclipse. Yay. And the reason I'm being so dramatic about that is because all I could say is that I kept trying to warn people about the negativity that was coming with that eclipse energy, both the lunar and the solar eclipse energy, but it's not done. It's not done, but I don't mean the eclipse energy. I mean in general. The best way I know how to put it, and you've heard the saying before, but I'm going to put it for girls and boys. I hope that you have put on your girls and your boy pants. Plain and simple. It is adulting time. And I'm not even talking about normal adulting time. I'm talking about past life joinments. I'm talking about more or less your counterparts of all of your lives, your family tree of that. I'm trying to get to the fact that we have our souls in like a nice little paper line of people. Like if you had taken a paper and drew girls or boys on it and you folded it up, and then when you opened it you have like all these little girls or boys holding hands, all the way across, and those would be souls. But then those souls have an oversoul, and then those souls have an oversoul until you get all the way back to the consciousness. This is oversoul testing, people. This is adulting from a spiritual perspective that is so much more than you. And we've heard the story or the theory, 2 steps back, 3 steps. 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. 3 steps forward, 5 steps back. When we work on our healing individually, getting really deep, raw, and into our depth of our soul healing, we are moving forward. Like those little paper people, that group of souls kind of moves forward. And as that group of soul makes healing and moves forward, so does the oversoul. And then the oversouls, until we get all the way back to the consciousness, they all start moving forward in healthy healing lessons. But this is one of those times, especially the rest of this year, but especially in the next few days before we hit that, it will be round and cleaned up and smashed into its new ball of energy, so to speak, when we hit the full moon in Scorpio next week. So you really are running out of time. And this is about we are either healing as a collective, being really deep and raw with ourselves and moving forward, or we're really in denial. We're really fighting it. Our subconscious it's just our inner blindness. It's areas we're afraid of within ourselves of healing. And we're not adulting on that soulful level. We're not doing the work. Where this is the time where you're not going to advance and move forward if you didn't put the hard work and effort and energy into it. And when we don't put that hard work and effort and energy in it, it does become 3 steps forward, 5 steps back. And then the oversouls have to take steps back. And then all the way back to where the consciousness finally is like, oh, so really, truly, the lesson must continue until it is learned. There's your key. We have so much energy going on right now. This is a ebb and flow energy. Do not try to force this energy, period, as we come into this. Understand that there are going to be incredibly unexpected twists and turns coming up within the next month. And if you're expecting something, oh, that's not going to happen. It'll go a whole nother way. So try to have a blank, sheet, a blank screen, a blank idea. Do not put any intention into it as the fact of it needs to be this way. Because the way you're trying to force it to be and grow, it will grow a different way. This is unexpected turns. This has to do with the fact Jupiter and Uranus are coming together, and that slam is going to hit. Then the fact you still got Mercury in retrograde. Mercury in retrograde is here with Venus, very sensitive to the energy, and Chiron and that North Node. But also what's really cankering that is Mars has passed or is passing Saturn. And that's what everybody's going to be talking about. What they're not talking about is Mars has not passed Nessus. And when the planets move past one another, that's when the energy starts to slow back down a little. But we've got so much energy for the rest of the year, it's just ridiculous. But Nessus is the curse in the 12th house. It is the ancestral curse of what's being learned or what isn't. This is why I started it by saying, you take those paper dolls, girls or boys, cut them out into a line of souls, and then we look at it like a family tree, and you move up to the next line of souls would be, the oversouls, and then they report back to the next oversouls. And this is us really working on that Nessus, breaking the curses, finding the ancestral healing. And can we move forward? But this is where the bad shit happens. And you have Mars, the warrior, in Pisces. That's like steam. That's like just blowing off steam, the kettle just going off, but it's running around in a circle. It's not really getting anything accomplished. It's not really getting anything done. And this is why I'm saying it's going right back to us understanding it's our counterparts, our other timelines. It's they just said, don't make it be rinse and repeat. And that's because this is ebb and flow. You have ebb and flow energy, really getting a vortex of energy. And this has to do with like liquid. It's like your inner liquids in the body and how it is healing or not healing. And along with, because they're giving me, you could be through the vortex of healing, through the ancestral healing, through the counterparts in your timelines, or you could be in swampland, like quicksand, and just can't seem to go anywhere with this vortex. And it's very important that you are doing that soul adulting right now. Ebb and flow. It's dealing with water. It's dealing with fluid. It's dealing with fluids in general. Thinking about your car, even fluids in your car. This is adulting on the highest level if you want to move forward. Do not expect any instant gratification. Like I said, if you want to move forward, you are going to work for it now. Plain and simple. This isn't just the eclipse energy. This is, like I said, it has a lot to do with that Uranus, that independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, and its uncomfortable place of Taurus. It's not thriving here. This is why I've been saying for 4 years, either you're in your power or someone or something else is. Every time I get into that Uranus and Taurus, this is your manifestation area. But your manifestation deals with the way you feel. It is your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, how you feel about yourself according in your daily life and activity. A lot of this has to do with, and it was just pointed out to me too, is it matching? You have goals, dreams, ambitions, ideas, desires, hopes. But do all of those hopes, dreams, ambitions, desires match what you're trying to create? Your daily life, the vibration coming out of you. Are you wanting one thing, but expressing a different energy? Mirroring it. Are you mirroring what you're trying to create? Or are we still fighting through so much denial that we're having the hopes, dreams, ambitions, and desires, but we're not mirroring or manifesting correctly? Like I said, this isn't just us. I don't want to put us down, but our individual peon, individual just, hey, me, you, and everybody else, Joe Blow, working on my soul. This is the counterparts all working together for an upgrade. So this is making sure you're not just helping you, you're helping all of yous through all space and time. I call back to me all of my energy. We are getting in, like I've been saying for a while, we are no longer in boot freaking camp, people. We are in the real trenches of this and really learning how to bring the light, not just to this planet, but to ourselves, to the reality of what we really want. But in order to do that, this is some hard ass work, and that's where we're at now. Now, remember, all of this energy is also should come into its ball of desire of where it's going to aim and start growing from with what you're shedding at that full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio, birth, death, rebirth, transformation. We are seeing some major shape shifting, but do not force this energy and do not look for instant gratification. You have to, as they say, sink or swim. No, bitch, I'm going to float. I don't sink or swim. I don't follow ultimatums. I've got a spiritual perspective. I'm going to float and go with the flow and do what is best for my soul. When we start to come into our blueprint, you have the sun this week is going to be going over the gland that is right here underneath your ear, and then getting into your throat. So this has to do with the lubrication of your throat and being able to breathe, stay open, be healthy, lubricate, communicate, talk. It is also the white matter in your memory. Okay. Then we have Chiron and the North Node, which are both going to be going through the spinal cord. Sorry, Mercury is also coming up on this energy really fast and going to be going through the spinal cord, hitting all of the chakras, hitting all of the connections, and Mercury's still in shadow. I mean, retrograde, like I said. And it's in retrograde with Venus slamming past it. And it is on the occipital, your eyes, nerves, as well as going over your tongue, and then into all of the lobes of the brain. So your sensitivity in your whole head is going to be off the chain. Mercury in your head, talking too much. Watch your word vomit to yourself. Watch your in your head beating yourself belligerently is what I just heard from them. For some of you. Some of you are in your head. I was born with Mercury in retrograde. I understand that I will turn everything into the negative and amplify that by 50 million if I don't learn to tell myself to shut up and speak positively to myself. That's what you're getting from a lot of this right now. You got Chiron, the wounded healer, Venus, oversensitive, Mercury, over jabbering in your head, not necessarily narcissistic, but self-centered. We can't help it when Mercury is in retrograde. And this is our entire head, our brain, our eyes, right through here and into our throat. And then what's this connect to? The zeal point. And are we of higher destination and vibration or lower? And it's sending right those nerves right through all of those chakras. Then you have Jupiter and Uranus, which are both on the occipital bone. That's the zeal point, or the mouth of God, if you want to see it that way. That is the ability to be of the higher or of the lower vibration. Are you going to be, and as some people like to call it, the draconian brain, or the reptilian brain? Or are you going to be more of the celestial and higher vibration brain? And it's right here in the back of the neck. It's that I coulda, shoulda, woulda. Well, I could have done that. I would have done that. Well, what if I had? Drive yourself nuts. Don't let those negatives in. This is about us overcoming what we've been learning spiritually, how to break our belief systems. And really, where are we going? Are we doing that? Like I said, are you matching what you've learned versus your vibration and your daily activities, your daily mirroring energy? Again, Jupiter and Uranus are coming together, coming into that 1 degree and together in the occipital bone, but they're also going to be into the sinus artery. Again, your whole head might be getting flu-like feelings. Then you have Vista, which is in the ribs, speaking directly to us about our breathing, our pH levels, our oxygen intake. Then you have Lilith, which is all over the gallbladder. That's about breaking down the waste and making it through the digestion system, breaking down the fat. You're getting into your solar plexus and your sacral chakra here. Then you have Juno, which is sacrifice and commitment. And that sacral chakra, the relationships you have with yourself and others and the world outside of you. Remember, everything that's outside of you really is not even outside of you. This is only a reflection of how you are viewing the simulation. And so we're talking about how is your relationship with that simulation and with yourself, and what are you creating? And it is literally on the descending colon. And I say it that way because it is the decision on what waste you're removing from your body, or if it's out of control. The south node is on the lymph nodes of the groin. Lymph nodes of the groin, and it is actually speaking about cleaning out or not being able to clean out infection. And I leave it with that because there's so much here in that, just the grit of a blueprint that's speaking volumes. The last thing I said before you even look into everything that's in the lower chakras of lower consciousness and inner blindness and all of the lower ego energy that we're trying to grow up from. What was the last things I just said? The lymph nodes and the inner groin have a lot to do with if it can or cannot clean out infection. That's the south node speaking to you in the 7th house of your relationship zone. And the mirroring effect of what you see in the whole relationship you have with the simulation and what you've breathed into your reality. The moon this week is going to be moving through Cancer, where it is not getting along with Aries at all, not getting along with the character, not getting along with I want what I want and I want it right now, not getting along with Mercury in retrograde, not getting along with North Node trying to trying to teach us how to rise into the best us we can be. It's not getting along with Mercury in our communication. It's not getting along with that Venus, our sensitivity about how we see ourselves. Don't be so mean to yourself this week. Take a break. Step back. No, I need some me freaking time. And most of all, Chiron, the wounded healer. There are parts of ourself we don't even know are infected mentally, emotionally, spiritually. This is give yourself the pampering, loving time to do what we got to do. Are you the reason your oversoul isn't moving forward? Adulting here, people. Then you have that Cancer moon, which is going to be getting along great, though, with Nessus, Saturn, Mars. It's going to be showing you in the 12th house, grief, sorrow, shame, blame, inner blindness, skeletons in the closet, denial. It's going to force itself to show you the areas that you have to heal. It's getting along great with Lilith, Jupiter, and Uranus, showing you the person who you want to be because that's truly who you are. It's just we've gotten caught in bad mental ideas, bad belief systems, but that's not who we prefer. So stop being who you don't prefer. Then the moon's going to be moving through Leo, where it's not getting along with Pluto over in that 11th house, directly across from each other. Your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, the people, places, and things, your teams that can help build those goals, dreams, or ambitions. Or are they really people that support you, who love you, who actually help you? Or are they taking advantage of you and manipulating the situation and wasting your time from becoming what you really want to become? It's evaluation time here. That Leo moon is getting along with the energy as it moves through Pisces and Aries. So it is getting along with compassionately understanding the death of one part of you and the birth of another. But it's also dramatic. Everything for Leo is dramatic. Then it's coming into Virgo as we end the week. And it is getting along with Jupiter and Uranus, helping you to stand firm in the possession of you. But that really depends on how firm you are in understanding your authenticity, understanding your soul spark, understanding that you are boundless, except for when your belief system tells you you're not. And then that's something you've got to work on. It is also getting along great with the sun as it leaves Aries and comes into Taurus at the end of the week. Like I said, this is when the moon is in Virgo. But your main challenges this week is that Lilith energy in that 6th house, Virgo, which is our daily routines, our daily mundane tasks, which happens to have a lot more to do with our belief systems than we realize, because we live on a program. Our daily routine, our daily mundane, we do it so repetitively we don't realize that it's so important to what we are creating. And that Lilith energy is asking you, when are you going to sink your teeth into what you really want to and stop making your mundane be parts of what you have to? But you still got to be responsible and adulting in how we create it. And it is not getting along with that curse energy, Nessus, Mars, or Saturn. So this is saying it's easier. It's easier just to keep going with the flow you're used to instead of believing and creating. None of this is going to be comfortable, people. Sorry. But this is such a big time of change, but slow steps. You're not going to make leaps and bounds right now. You have that south node and that seventh house relationship zone, which is not getting along with Venus, Mercury, Chiron, north node. This is, like I said, the simulation that's playing out, the relationship you have with yourself. How deep and raw are you willing to get? We are not in boot camp. This is real spiritual work. And it's, and I heard from them, some of this is, when are you going to look? How many of you are still living by your inner blindness, dark overlord, keeping you there because it's comfortable? This is raw. This is raw energy. We're dissolving and making our inner blindness cease to exist, but not by going, I ignore it, by vanquishing it. Then you have some really good energy. You have South Node, not South Node, Lilith in that sixth house, your daily routines, your daily thinking, your daily programming, your daily belief systems, is speaking to that Jupiter and Uranus as they're coming together and getting way more powerful. So it can amplify you believing in yourself and standing strong in the power of yourself. But if you're not in that belief and you're more in that naive, that Jupiter is going to go wonderfully for somebody who's not good, not for you. Because it's trying to teach you the lesson. Like I said, the lessons will repeat again until they are learned. And that's actually a good energy, but it can go wrong if you're in the wrong mindset. Don't let that Mercury retrograde and talking bad to yourself get in there. You have Jupiter and Uranus also, which are getting along great with Mars, Saturn, and Nessus, as well as Neptune is getting along great with Pluto. All of this has to do with, don't stand in fantasy land of dreaming and hoping. Stand into, I'm creating it. Even if I got to take baby steps and it's going to take me a long time, I've got to adult my way into that becoming reality. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Bye.